The morning sun bathed the monastery courtyard in golden light, casting long shadows on the cool stone ground. Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his serene presence drawing disciples from every corner of the region. Among them, a young farmer named Radin approached with hesitant steps, his face etched with weariness. Radin knelt before the enlightened one, his head bowed low, voice trembling with emotion. "Master, my heart aches deeply," he began. "I toil each day, yet I lose much and gain little. How does one endure this life?" Buddha gazed at Radin with compassion, his calm eyes reflecting an infinite well of understanding. "Radin, your burdens are heavy," he spoke gently, his words carrying the weight of truth. "Yet, the path of love offers solace, even when surrounded by suffering. Sit and listen to my words." The disciples formed a quiet circle, their anticipation thick in the stillness of the morning air. Buddha began, his voice a steady rhythm of wisdom. "Consider the humble seed. It lies buried in darkness, pressed by the weight of the earth above. Yet, despite its confinement, it begins to grow, reaching upward with unwavering determination toward the light. It seeks no reward." Radin nodded slightly, his fingers nervously tracing the edge of his tunic. His chest rose and fell as he absorbed the metaphor. "True love," Buddha continued, his tone firm yet tender, "is like the seed. It exists not for gain, but for giving." He gestured to a small sprout growing near the edge of the courtyard. "Fragile yet vibrant, love flourishes when freed from expectation and selfishness." Radin spoke again, his voice tinged with doubt. "Master, how can love persist when one feels betrayed by life itself? The world feels too cruel for love. Set forth only compassionate reflections." He gestured at the horizon, where hills stretched endlessly against dawn's light. "Carry love as steady wind beneath wings, not storms uprooting trees before time," he urged. "Life unfolds in its grace." I asked, "What if life challenges yield pain? How should parents guide when suffering cannot be avoided?" The Buddha's expression deepened with understanding. "Life includes rain for flowers and also seasons of drought," he answered. His voice carried the wisdom of generations. Parents shelter children in ways preparing them for rain and winds without losing roots in earth. He struggled to find his voice. "I suppose I do," Radin admitted hesitantly. "The earth holds my toil, my hopes, my sacrifices. Yet, it does not always repay me." Disciples began echoing his teachings in soft murmurs, agreeing how a parent's fears could cloud life's natural rhythm. "When hearts embrace freedom over fear," he concluded, "love blooms like flowers stretching always towards light. This is love's courage." The disciples exchanged glances, the air around them charged with quiet revelation. Buddha leaned forward slightly, his attention still fully on Radin. "Unconditional love, Radin, is not diminished by the world's trials. It shines because it expects nothing in return." Radin's brow furrowed as he sought to reconcile his grief with the Buddha's profound insights. "But how, Master? Can one cultivate this love when hardship tempts the heart toward bitterness and despair?" Buddha's smile widened slightly, his countenance radiant with hope. "Begin within," Buddha said firmly, his words carving a path through the fog of doubt. "Nourish your own soul with compassion. Forgive yourself for the anger and sorrow you carry. Understand it is part of your journey." Buddha's hand gestured toward the surrounding gardens, where flowers blossomed in a riot of color and fragrance. "Every flower you see began its life as a fragile seed, vulnerable to storms and drought alike, but each flower now gives itself freely, spreading beauty and fragrance to all who pass. Such is the essence of love." Radin raised his eyes to meet Buddha's, the glimmer of understanding beginning to illuminate his expression. "Master," Radin whispered, his voice trembling with newfound clarity, "I see now that love is not a barter, but a gift of the soul." Buddha nodded, his approval a gentle blessing upon Ratan's spirit. Yes, Ratan, and in giving love freely, you transform both yourself and the world around you. The sun climbed higher, casting its warm embrace over the gathered disciples, their hearts stirred by the exchange. Ratan remained kneeling, his body trembling with a mixture of exhaustion and renewal. Thank you, Master, he said, bowing deeply. Your words have planted a seed within my heart. Buddha's voice carried one final teaching, a thread to weave through Ratan's awakening. Love, when it flows without condition, enriches the soil of the heart. Tend to it, and it will grow strong. The gathering dispersed slowly, each disciple retreating into quiet contemplation of the lesson shared. Ratan lingered beneath the Bodhi tree, his hand gently pressing against the earth that had borne him so many trials. He felt a subtle shift within himself, the sprouting of a deeper understanding he had not known before. Unconditional love, he murmured. The words like a mantra, is the seed that transforms pain into beauty, sorrow into joy. As the sun continued its journey across the sky, the monastery remained a beacon of peace and wisdom. The lessons of the Buddha echoed in the hearts of all who heard them, planting seeds of compassion and love that would grow for generations to come. Another day, another moment of wisdom unfolded under the tranquil canopy of the Bodhi tree at the monastery. The afternoon sun cast a warm glow on the serene surroundings. As a young woman named Maya approached the Buddha, her steps faltered, her face marred with anguish. Carrying the burdens of betrayal, Maya bowed deeply before Buddha, her voice trembling with emotion. Master, she began, tears streaking her face. I trusted deeply, yet he betrayed my heart. How can I mend this pain? Buddha's calm eyes gazed at Maya with infinite compassion, his presence a soothing balm to her wounded spirit. My child, Buddha responded gently, his words flowing like a river's gentle current. Pain often accompanies the beauty of human connection. He gestured to the flowers growing nearby, their delicate petals unfurling in response to the sun's light. Even these blossoms face the trials of wind and rain, yet they bloom nonetheless. Maya lowered her head, struggling to hold back her sorrow. But how does one continue to love, she asked hesitantly, when trust is shattered and the heart feels broken? Buddha's gaze remained steady, his voice unwavering in its wisdom. The heart heals through the power of love that transcends expectation and condition. He pointed to the sun slowly descending in the sky, casting a radiant glow over the monastery. The sun sets each day, yet it leaves behind its warmth, a reminder that light persists even in darkness. Buddha's words carried profound weight, resonating deeply within Maya's spirit. She nodded faintly, absorbing his metaphor. True love, Maya, Buddha continued, his tone soothing yet firm, is eternal. It shines not to be admired, but to illuminate. He shared the story of the king who received two gifts, a magnificent vase and a humble clay pot. The vase cracked and shattered, but the pot remained steadfast, offering water to all. Buddha's eyes searched Maya's face, seeking the seed of understanding beginning to sprout. Love rooted in expectation breaks easily, he said, his words careful and deliberate. Yet love that expects nothing endures, nourishing both giver and receiver alike. Maya closed her eyes briefly, her mind reflecting on the lesson. But Master, she asked hesitantly, her voice wavering, how does one rebuild trust and open the heart once more? Buddha's smile widened slightly, his expression radiant with hope. Trust is a fragile yet vital thread, strengthened by the courage to forgive and the resolve to love unconditionally. The gathered disciples listened intently, their hearts stirred by the profound truths shared by Buddha. Maya wiped away her tears, her hands trembling as she found the courage to speak again. Master, your words have brought clarity to my turmoil, she said softly. Love must not be tethered to expectations. Buddha inclined his head, affirming Maya's reflection. Indeed, Maya, in loving without expectation, one frees the soul from the chains of betrayal and heartache. He gestured to the river flowing nearby, its waters shimmering in the sunlight. The river flows freely, finding its way despite obstacles and challenges. Maya gazed at the river, its gentle currents a metaphor for the path of unconditional love. Master, she said, her voice firmer now, I will strive to love with a heart unbound by resentment or fear. Buddha's smile conveyed his blessing, a silent affirmation of her determination. The sun sank further behind the horizon, casting long shadows across the monastery. Maya remained seated, her heart lighter, her resolve to love unconditionally renewed. The disciples dispersed slowly, each retreating into quiet contemplation of the Buddha's teachings. Maya bowed deeply before the enlightened one once more. Master, thank you for guiding me through this darkness, she said. Your wisdom has planted a seed within my heart. Buddha's voice carried one final teaching, his words a thread to weave through Maya's awakening. Love, like the light of the setting sun, endures and nourishes the spirit when freed from expectation and conditions. The monastery grew, quiet as twilight enveloped the surroundings, the lesson shared resonating in the hearts of all who heard it. Maya stood near the river's edge, her hand brushing against the gentle currents. She felt a subtle shift within herself, the beginnings of a deeper understanding she had not known before. Unconditional love, she murmured softly, her voice steady, is the light that transforms betrayal into forgiveness, sorrow into joy. The evening settled peacefully over the monastery, its tranquil beauty a beacon of hope and wisdom. Buddha's teachings on love remained a guiding force for all who sought its truth, illuminating paths toward compassion and connection. Another day, another breeze rustled through the monastery, carrying whispers of new lessons under the shade of the Bodhi tree. The wealthy merchant, Devik, arrived with heavy steps, his face clouded with frustration. He bowed before Buddha, seeking guidance. Master, Devik began, his voice weary, I give generously, yet the gratitude fades quickly. Their demands grow, and my heart feels burdened. Buddha's calm eyes met Devak's, radiating infinite compassion. His serene presence was a balm to the merchant's troubled spirit. My child, Buddha replied gently, his tone steady. Generosity, like love, must flow freely without expectation of gratitude or reward. He gestured toward the nearby river, its waters shimmering in the sunlight. The river gives its bounty, nourishing the earth, without asking for acknowledgement. But Master, Devik asked hesitantly, his brows furrowing, how can one give when faced with ingratitude and relentless demands? Buddha's gaze softened further, his words a guiding light through the fog of doubt. True generosity is an offering from the soul, unshackled by resentment or fear. He pointed to the Bodhi tree above, its branches swaying gently in the breeze. The Bodhi tree offers shade, shelter, and fruit to all without discrimination. Such is the nature of unconditional love. Devik nodded slightly, his eyes fixed on the tree as he pondered Buddha's wisdom. But how does one sustain such love and generosity when faced with exhaustion and discouragement? Devik asked, his voice trembling. Buddha's smile widened slightly, his expression radiant with hope. Love and generosity flourish when rooted in compassion, nourished by the joy of giving. The gathered disciples listened intently, their hearts stirred by the profound truths shared by Buddha. Consider a circle drawn in the sand, Buddha continued, his voice soothing yet firm. Unconditional love expands this circle, encompassing all beings without exception. But Master, Devik spoke again, struggling to reconcile his frustration with the Buddha's teachings. How can one expand this circle without feeling drained? Buddha's expression remained serene, his voice unwavering in its wisdom. The circle grows wider when nourished by compassion and humility. He gestured to the sun slowly, descending in the sky, its rays reaching across the horizon. The sun offers its light freely, touching all without expectation, and renewing itself each day. Love acts similarly. Devik nodded faintly, absorbing Buddha's metaphor as he sought to mend his weary heart. My child, Buddha added, his tone inviting reflection. Do not measure the impact of your generosity by the gratitude of others. Measure it by the transformation it brings to your soul. Devik lowered his head, his fingers tracing the edge of his tunic as he grappled with Buddha's words. Master, he said softly, his voice tinged with newfound clarity, I see now that true generosity is not tethered to the response it receives. Buddha inclined his head slightly, affirming the merchant's reflection. Indeed, Devik, in giving freely, you liberate yourself from the chains of expectation. The sun sank further behind the horizon, casting long shadows across the monastery. Devik remained seated, his heart lighter, his resolve to love and give unconditionally renewed. Master, your wisdom has opened my eyes, he said gratefully. I will strive to expand the circle of compassion within my soul. Buddha's voice carried one final teaching, his words a thread to weave through Devik's awakening. Love, like the river's flow, nourishes and transforms when offered without condition. It grows stronger in its purity. The monastery grew quiet as twilight enveloped the surroundings, the lesson shared resonating in the hearts of all who heard it. Devik stood near the river's edge, his hand brushing against the gentle currents. He felt a subtle shift within himself, the beginnings of a deeper understanding he had not known before. Unconditional love, he murmured softly, his voice steady, is the force that transforms frustration into humility, exhaustion into renewal. The evening settled peacefully over the monastery, its tranquil beauty a beacon of hope and wisdom. Buddha's teachings on love remained a guiding force for all who sought its truth, illuminating paths toward compassion and connection. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.